The new epidemic, managed decline. So, this is a new term that I came across. It's obviously not actually a new term, but it's one that I recently came across in, well, to be honest, the application to society. And I think it summarizes so well where we are and the mindset that far too many people have about health, fitness, wellness, progression, life in general. And it's this assumption of, well, we're just going to manage the decline. That instead of looking to preventative, looking to, well, how can I take this on and do better with my life? How can I improve my standing? How can I look after this vessel, this vehicle, the one and only one I have to provide my best life and continue to progress forward, to continue to make leaps and bounds, to continue to have the energy, the focus, the drive, the opportunity to do the things that I want to do. Instead of looking after that, it's just this pure acceptance that decline is inevitable and we're just going to manage it as best we can. What a backwards thought process. What a just completely fucked up idea. That, well, this is just our lot in life and we're just going to manage the decline. No, stand up, fight for yourself, take a stand, say, I want better, I want to do better, I want to be better, I want to live better, I want to show up as a better version of myself. I wanted to live in my best life and live my life on my terms. No, we're just going to manage the decline. And I see it in all areas and progressively getting worse and worse, especially at a younger age. You know, it used to be like my parents and older clients and all this kind of stuff would be like, oh, well, you know, it is what it is. I am, 50, 60, 70. And look, I disagree fundamentally with that statement, but I can at least come at that. Like, if you're retired and it's kind of like, well, what else can I do? Well, you can still fight against it. You can get stronger, you can get fitter, you can improve. I spoke about it the other day, and of course, there's always those who want to argue for their mediocrity. They got their knickers in a knot. Well, like, oh, when I was like, age is just a choice. Age is a number. They were like, oh, you can't fight aging. I was like, you can fight the decline. You can absolutely fucking fight the decline. You can absolutely positively make a decision about how you show up and how your body functions and your ability to walk and squat and do things and get out and get on the floor and all these kinds of things. How well your body functions, how your body feels. You can definitively and categorically make a decision towards a better outcome on that fact. But it even comes down to, as you know, I play basketball and I have guys on my team who are in their 30s. And they were like, oh, pulled a groin. It's just part of getting older. This is the shit you have to deal with. And I was like, no, it's because you're deconditioned. It has nothing to do with age. It's because you're not building on that. And they're like, oh, well, we just don't recover as well as we used to. Same again. Definitive life choice. Yeah, things will slow down a little bit as you get older. But a lot of that comes down to choice and the decisions you make. I got tunneled this week. Landed right on my back. Ended up with whiplash. Got the wind knocked out of me. I can nearly guarantee, and especially having seen some of the other injuries to other players in the comp, that if that had been anybody else, that would have been the end of their season. Maybe the end of them playing basketball. In less than a week, I'd fully recovered. My back was fine a couple of days later. The whiplash has taken a little bit longer. It's in the tail end of it now. But overall, I am fine. Why? Because my body is stronger. My body has been built to handle it. Specifically the one on my back. I felt all the muscles that took the brunt of it instead of my spine taking it. This is the point of the video I made the other day. You should just be harder to kill. Being strong, fit, and healthy, building dense muscle makes you harder to kill. It's an important factor in it. But again, it comes back to this concept of you have to make a decision about what matters to you. We're not managing the decline. We are training and building for optimization. We are training and building to be the greatest version of ourselves. We are not just accepting that, we've done a couple of orbits of the sun, therefore this is just our lot now. No. There is a definitive difference between those who look after their health and fitness, those who exercise regularly, those who lift weights and are strong and capable, and those who sit on the couch and, pound donuts. Life choices, decisions, adult decisions, as we keep coming back to. Remember, your life is a direct reflection of your thoughts, habits, and choices. If you don't like it, make a different decision, because it is all your fault. If you're managing the decline, that's your fault. Want something different? Make a different decision. But as I said, I think this is the problem with our society at the moment, that we just go, well, that's it. No. And it's why I have great problems with the body positivity movement, with the dad bod, with these kinds of societal trends at the moment, because they encourage people to stop trying. They encourage people to stop doing the work. And then on top of that, you have this society that is built on, well, they want to defend their mediocrity. They want to defend their validations and excuses as to why they're not doing the work. The reason is you just don't want to. The reason is that you aren't willing to put in the time, money, effort to have the things that you actually want. That's the honest to God reason. And look, if you decide that that's what you want out in life, at least fucking own it. I would have way more respect for people who own it instead of defending why they can't and why other people have better opportunities or have been blessed with other things that they have, so that's why they succeed. Just be a man and own it. I don't want it. I am not willing to pay the price to have a great life. I am not willing to pay the price, put in the effort, and do the work to have the things that I quote unquote want. At least release yourself from that and be honest and truthful and say that you don't want it. The epidemic is that we are managing the decline. So fuck the decline. Make a stand. Make a stand for yourself, for your wife, for your children, to do the necessary work, the work that is required to have a better life. Because it's all within your control. Everything's within your capacity. You just have to make the choice. You have to shift what's up here. I had someone comment the other day and they're like, you always talk about health and fitness and how it's the cornerstone, but you don't actually talk about health and fitness. You want to know the honest to God reason? Because the health and fitness part is the easy part. That's the simple part. I give it away all the time. 5 keys to demanding greatness. Do a weighted workout. Go for a weighted walk. Eat an animal-based diet. Drink 4 liters of water. Take a daily photo. Do these 5 things for 126 days plus in a row, without exception, no misses, and your life will be drastically different. It's really, really simple. And to be honest, for most people, if you just started there, it wouldn't even matter what format, what methodology, whatever you chose. If you just started there and gave it the fucking intensity that it deserves, game changer. Different human being. Very, very quickly. But the hard part, the part that most people struggle with, is the thing between their ears. They struggle with the effort. They struggle with the mindset. They struggle with getting their head into the right place. That's the part that's actually difficult. It's the showing up consistently. It's doing the work day in and day out. It's getting your headspace around what is required. It's breaking free of, well, this societal collapse that we're looking at. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's the reality. We as a society are falling apart. You know, what is it? 2/3 of the population are overweight or obese. That is an obscene fucking number of people who have just, well, given up, who've accepted this, narrative that this is an acceptable life choice. And please, for those people who want to get into, well, it's my choice to make. It is your choice to make. It is. But honest to God, if you have anybody who loves and cares about you, make a better fucking choice. If you have people who care for you, do better. Be better for them. Look after your health and fitness. It's the greatest gift you've been ever given, and you've only got one shot at it. Do it right. Comes back to that old adage, The healthy man has 1,000 dreams, the sick man has but one. Yeah, and I know it's the extremes, but it's coming. It's coming. And again, it comes back to this one. The problem is that it doesn't happen like this. It's managing the decline, and it inches on you until you look back and go, holy fuck, how did I get here? How did I end up in this situation? Because you managed the decline. Instead of recognizing that first moment and going, shit, hey, maybe I should do something about it. You waited and waited and waited and kept waiting and kept waiting and kept waiting and then waited a little bit more. And then you're like, fuck. And now the mountain seems so high that it feels impossible to make that change. It's not, by the way. It's not. At any moment, at any point in your life, you can make a different choice and change it. It's just how long is that journey going to be? And I understand it. I do. I was there. I was over 30 kilos overweight. Ended up in a hospital with a heart condition. That's why I talk about this, because I got the fucking wake-up calls. I got them. It took a, solid pounding into this thick head. But I got there. And it matters. It really matters that you have the wake-up call, that you listen and you go, oh, this matters. So I get how you can let it slip away, but you need to take a stand. You need to realize that this is all you got. This is the moment. This is your life. So are you going to continue to piss it away because you want to defend your mediocrity? Then you want to just manage the decline instead of going, maybe I'll need to get a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe I'll need to make some different decisions. Maybe I'll need to make some choices around things that aren't as easy as I'd like them to be. Maybe I'll need to make some choices around the things that do matter. Are you going? What are you doing here? Maybe you'll need to make choices that do suit you for the future you, not for current you. Because remember, if you aren't happy, and let's be realistic here, if you're managing the decline, you aren't fucking happy. If you aren't happy with the life you're currently in, well, the greatest news ever is that it's all your fault, because it's 100% within your control to change. So make a different choice. Choose something different and reach for something better. Because you can have the life that you want. You can have all the things that you deserve. You can be happy and stop managing the decline and start chasing your greatness. Start demanding your greatness. But you have to make that first decision that this mediocrity that society has put towards you as being normal and acceptable isn't. And you have to make a very different decision. But only you can make that decision as to who you're going to be and how you're going to make these changes. So the question is, are you going to start demanding greatness?